All right, go for it.
All right. You guys have seen those commercials for prescription drug ads? You know, they promise all these things, but they have all these crazy side effects. The world of my story, the heroes as well as the villains discover they now have the ability to, when they take a prescription drug or even an over-the-counter med, they can now the side effects of these drugs are either amplified or in reverse. Say you take, I don't know, something just for like some chills or something. Maybe you're like really cold. You sit in a chair and you melt the chair. Now, keep these abilities in mind because the characters in this film, the main character Norbert, he is the son of a former petty thief, and he would use these abilities to further his own gains monetarily. See, he's under the impression that being a bad guy always pays. But it seems that he doesn't notice that his father's being a bad guy really kind of screwed him over. And his father's trying to get him to go straight. Norbert kind of gets his father in a little bit of trouble by convincing him to rob a bank to fund his mentally challenged brother's future, basically. And he goes for it because his brother is not functional enough to continue with this. So essentially, after this bank robbery, he kind of blows it up. Norbert kind of blows it off, and his father ends up in the hospital. And now Norbert's faced with having to support his brother and basically find a way to get by. That's when he discovers an ad for a prescription drug company. And he says to himself, I'm going to rob that place. Without really knowing anything about it. He's not really the smartest guy, going to drop out of high school. So he goes in there, and he's faced with his high school rival, who's always had a grudge against him, working as a security guard. And on his travels trying to break into this place, he wakes them up and they get into a huge scuffle. And eventually the scuffle gets its way into the lab, and it causes quite the large explosion, and they don't really know what the explosion actually creates a chemical reaction that sprays this gas everywhere. Now, this gas has never been seen or heard from before, but it was experimental. It was something experimental that was being worked on by the pharmaceutical company. Later on, they find out that their biology has been changed, and now when they take prescription drugs or really anything,